Good evening. I'm sorry I can't be with you tonight in Las Vegas, but I'm pleased to have this time to thank the committee who selected me for this wonderful honor. And I also want to thank all of you who, through your attendance here tonight, support the benefits of brotherhood. I hope my story about how my ZBT relationship shaped my life for the better and continues to enrich me to this very day will, in some small way, support your efforts. Let me sort of tell my story and set the scene of how this relationship all began. You see, as a teenager, I'd always dreamed of making my career in our family food service business. At the time, the pinnacle of hospitality training was the hotel and restaurant school at Cornell. But unfortunately, in my senior year, I received a C in English and I wasn't accepted at Cornell. I was absolutely crushed. Disappointed, I attended my second choice, the hotel school at Michigan State. Fortunately, my experience at Michigan State was wonderful, and I flourished both scholastically and academically. But my dream of attending Cornell remained, so I applied as a transfer student, and I applied as a freshman and and was accepted and entered as a sophomore. But at 18, little did I realize how difficult the transition would be. Now I was a sophomore, coming from a campus where I'd already achieved big man on campus status, to knowing absolutely nobody and not even being assigned a dorm room or a roommate. I was living in a garret above the student union. I was absolutely miserable. After several days, I had yet to even unpack my car and was going to continue on my drive to East Lansing to register for my second year at Michigan State. But before I did, I decided on a chance moment that I'd go down to the ZBT house. So you see, at Michigan State, I was a spring ZBT pledge, but had yet to be scheduled to be inducted. Probably wasn't going to happen until much later in the year. That decision, that short car ride to one Edgecliff Place was, as I look back, one of the most fateful evenings of my life. Classes at Cornell had yet to begin and would not do so until orientation for freshmen and transfer students had ended. I was met at the door of the fraternity by Jim Goldsmith, who was a senior, and he was president of the fraternity. He also had by his side Murray Bellman, who was his roommate. They couldn't have been more welcoming or more gracious. They took me in with open arms. My next 3 years were to be among the best in my life. In that fraternity house, I joined a world of exceptional people who would become role models, business colleagues, and lifelong friends. As a result of the inspiration from my fraternity brothers, I went on to Harvard Business School to join three other brothers who were also attending HBS at the same time. As I look back at it now, I find it amazing that 4 out of a very limited number of attendees at HBS came from one fraternity house, from Kappa chapter. I feel strongly that my training at HBS enabled me to assume the leadership of my family business at the tender age of 25. But that's not where the benefits for me of brotherhood ended. One of my brothers, Larry Hampman, joined me at Dunkin, and for 35 years, he was our chief legal officer and my consigliere. To this day, he's one of my best and closest friends. I feel very strongly that Dunkin would never have achieved what it did had it not been for Larry's contributions. My fraternity brothers, Dick Tolkien and Don Katz, continue to be among my closest friends to this very day. Think of it, 65 years of wonderful friendship. Well, that's my ZBT story. No question, this fraternity played an essential and incredibly important role, and still does to this very day, in my life. The honor you have given me tonight is another huge benefit my membership in this wonderful fraternity has bestowed upon me. I'm immensely grateful, and I want to thank you.